Let's take a look at the Sumifs function, which is very similar to the Sumif function, except the Sumifs allows you to select multiple ranges and multiple criteria. The first thing the Sumifs function asks for is the sum range as the first parameter. So I'm going to sum up my quantity here, and then comma, and then it wants its first criteria range. So maybe we'll come out here just like we did in an earlier example, and I will choose to search on the order date and then a comma. Now I'll go ahead and type in my first criteria, and I'm going to say in quotes that this thing has to be greater than April 1st of 07. And if I press enter, I get the number 50, which if I look at this closely, I see that these dates are all greater than April 1st. And if I just quickly select these cells, I can go down and look in my status bar and see that yes, indeed, the sum is 50. So it looks like it's working. Now the Sumifs will allow me to add another range and another criteria cell. So I'm going to go ahead and try that now. I'm going to just click out at the end of my formula, and I'll put a comma in, and I can add a second range and a second criteria. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to select my product name range and then a comma, and I'm going to say something like this. I only want to see those records where we have the letters DE somewhere in the product name. That is, the letters DE can be at the beginning, at the end, or anywhere in the middle. And I can use the wildcard asterisk characters to make this happen, and then I take the whole thing and just enclose it in double quotes like this. So let's see what we end up with. And I end up with the number 30. So I'll go back to my first selection here. These rows of information all apply to the first criteria. All of these are greater than April 1st. The values in green here are the only values in the product name column that have the letters DE somewhere in the name. And up here in the criteria, it's only going to accept where both of these are true. So when you're adding multiple criteria values, it's saying this and this and this, meaning they all have to be true. And where these guys overlap, that's where we take a look at these two cells, and that's the number 30.